Anybody in your family eats bananas like this? Not in mine. I will have to throw them away if I don't come up with something. And I do have a vegan recipe that really everybody likes. Addy calls it banana bread on steroids. And I will show you what I make. It's a bundt cake I'm making out of this. And I'm not using dairy products. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. It only takes a few minutes. It's a very easy recipe. I put you down. Here is my bowl. Let's see that I get you where my bowl is. Yeah. There you go. Okay, we start with the bananas. Again, like the gorillas in the zoo, I open on the end of the banana, which goes so much easier. This one is really black. Nobody would eat it, including myself. My container here for the bio stuff. Composter. Okay, so we do that with all three. Number 3. Okay, let's go away. The fork. Let's see. Need a nice big one. Don't mind my messing. I just finished cooking for brunch and I came from singing in church. Happy Palm Sunday, by the way. So it's a little messy in my kitchen today. Okay, so we mashed the bananas. Pretty good, actually. So we don't want to have little chunks in there. Okay. We mix it with a 1/3 cup, that's optional, vegan chocolate morsels. With I would say, yeah, that's a cup walnuts. Then we have a cup of applesauce, and I use 2 of them because that's not a cup. That is like 6 ounce or even less. So I use 2 cups. If it's too slobby, I just put more flour in, but usually good, I'm good today. Okay. And I use the organic unsweetened applesauce, so there is no sugar in the applesauce. That's my egg replacer, by the way, in this case. So if you use applesauce, you don't need an egg in a cake. Nobody knows that either. You can also use a plum sauce. Never did it before, but heard it works really well. Of course, you have the egg replacers from the organic store, but I actually never use it. Sometimes I use flax eggs, but not in a cake because you don't want to have that gritty flax meal in there. Okay. Oh, one more thing I have to get. My grandma would be really angry if I don't. And she said, always use a wooden spoon and not a metal spoon. Of course, I have a metal bowl in there, but she didn't say anything about that, so that should be okay. But she always said use a wooden spoon if you make a cake dough. So what else do we need? We need a tablespoon, I think, or teaspoon. Let me see my recipe. I have it all there. It's my grandma's recipe. I just veganized it. A teaspoon vanilla. That's this. You know what? I put a little bit more in. I like vanilla flavor. Then I need a teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon salt. Do we have a quarter? Yes, we do. A quarter teaspoon salt. Then we need, get my recipe, quarter teaspoon salt. We got the thing, yeah, now we need the baking soda. And a little plant milk. And half a cup organic sugar. Better do that right away. Okay, half cup organic sugar. I use that Florida crystals. That's vegan. Means there are no bone jars in it for bleaching. Okay. And now we need a tablespoon plant milk. I have plant yogurt. I use that because that needs to go. Good dollop, tablespoon plant yogurt. I use that silk. That's also what I use for breakfast. And we got the chocolate morsels, yes. And what else? Teaspoon baking soda. We haven't done that. Teaspoon, where are you? Baking soda. And we need flour. I take the King Arthur. I usually use pastry flour, but wheat pastry flour, but I don't have one. That is a quarter teaspoon salt. We got that. 2 cups of whole wheat flour. 2 cups. I use that all-purpose King Arthur flour. Works too. That was half a cup. And I use 4. 2, 3, 4. So 4 half a cup is 2 cups. I'm an English major. I can't count, but I think I'm good enough on here. So, and we put everything together and make a dough out of it. If we need a little bit more liquid, I will put a little bit more yogurt in, but first we have to try to do it like that. It takes a while. Okay. So you see there's not much sugar in there. You can put a little bit honey in there, wouldn't hurt. I did that before. Or cinnamon is another good spice to add. It's up to you, you know what flavor. I go for the vanilla flavor in this case. Everybody likes vanilla in my house. Oh, it smells already vanilla-ish. Okay, I don't think we need any more liquid. We think we are good. Yeah. Smells good. Okay. And you see it's almost, the main ingredient is banana. Now we use a silicone Bundt thing. You don't have to grease. You can use a normal one and you just grease it. I just use the silicone. And make sure you have your oven on 350. Then we put the dough in there. Around and around. If you have seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the American mom brings a Bundt cake. That's always what I remember when I make a Bundt cake. Yeah, we and our Bundt cakes. In Germany you make a lot of Bundt cakes. They call it, in my town, they call it Gugelhupf in my Bavarian town. Gugelhupf, like Google, like the browser. A Google in my Bavarian town is a round shaped bowl. That's why it's called Google. Okay. I like not to waste too much dough. Put the rest of the finger in. When you make sure it's evenly divided, that you don't have a strange looking Google. Okay, looks good to me. And up in the oven for about 45 minutes, sorry. Good. Okay. Gugelhupf Bundt cake in the oven, 45 minutes. I put it on a cookie sheet, by the way. I'm not putting it in like that because it's hot when you take it out and you might burn your fingers otherwise. Okay. Okay, the thing is going. What you can do in the meantime, I need a glasses for that. What you can do in the meantime is heating the rest of the morsels. I had some leftover morsels, and well, we can do it when the Gugelhupf is cold, because you can glaze it with this chocolate and put some walnuts on top. Always comes good in my family. We do that later. We let the Bundt cake cool first. Okay. See you when I take it out of the oven. Well, while we are waiting for the Bundt cake to bake, I can tell you a little, actually 2 German Palm Sunday stories I got told when I was a child. The first one is in Germany, the last one to rise on Palm Sunday is called Palm Donkey. So for 1 year until the next Palm Sunday, that person has the title Palm Donkey, because they rose last from the bed. Of course, like almost every year, it is Addy in our household. So she is my little burriquito, Palm burriquito. I put it on Instagram if you want to watch it. The other story I really like, my grandma told me, is no matter what donkey you look at his back. Doesn't matter if it's the burros in Oatman or a jackass or a donkey or whatever you call them. Every donkey has a cross on its back, like a darker fur shaped like a cross. You can look at every donkey. And she asked me, do you know why? And I said, no. And she said, Jesus chose the humble donkey and not the Arabian horse to ride into Jerusalem. And that cross should remember everybody that it was the donkey, the burro, who had the honor to carry Jesus, not the Arabian horse, which cost thousands of dollars. I like the story. Make out of it what you want. I just wanted to tell you. And now we still wait a few minutes until my Bundt cake comes out and has cooled off for 10 minutes. You should not, I need to tell you that, maybe that's a good time. If you use a silicone form like I did, the form is hot in the oven, so you need to use a towel or something to get it out. And you have to let it cool for 10 minutes. If you do not let it cool, it will not go off from the form, the cake. So 10 minutes completely cooling. There's patience. I know, patience is not my strongest virtue, but I let it cool for 10 minutes before I dump it on that cake plate. And then we will continue, okay? See you in a minute. There you go. So I took it out of the oven. That's how it looks in that silicone form. Make sure you have your oven mitts on, because this is hot when you take it out of the oven. So I let it cool for a couple minutes, 10 minutes. And now I'm dumping the cake, and I put you down. You want to witness that. Okay, you see it. So now we can put it here. Put the cake form on top, of course. And there you go. Voila. See, nothing hangs on the silicone form. I love my silicone forms. I'm a big fan of it. Here's my Bundt cake. And what we do now, I had the leftover chocolate morsels in the microwave for 2 minutes. And of course, we garnish that cake. First to a little bit on top, and then later I spread it out. Let's just put it on top here. Don't just use everything you have, you know. It's actually nice when it drizzles down a little bit. It lets the cake look really cute. So I have a sponge here, which I drag it down a little bit, see, like this. So you want it everywhere, a little bit. Not completely covered, I don't need that, but a little bit for the optic. As I said, Addy calls it banana bread on steroids. We have a little bit more chocolate here. Here's a little thin, the layer. Well, and here. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Of course I put it on the, that's what I always try to avoid. Then it goes on the plate. Not very professional here. Okay, we got it. And now we take a few walnuts, of course. Have a perfect cake everybody wants to eat. Instead of the black bananas, nobody wants to eat. And I don't like wasting stuff, so that's a perfect recipe. And if you're not a vegan or you don't care for that part, this is the same recipe my grandma made in Germany, and boy, she was not a vegan. She used butter on everything. And dairy, so you can use that. I substituted the egg with the applesauce, the unsweetened organic applesauce, and the milk with non-dairy yogurt I had available in the fridge. But other than that, everything is the same. You can do it either way. It's good. This version is a little healthier than the one from my grandma. Look at it. Isn't that cute? Bundt cake, Bundt cake. Okay, happy Palm Sunday. I hope you have a piece of cake at home to enjoy with a cup of coffee. Bye. And as they say in California, peace out. Pow. Okay. There we go. Clay eats the first one. Very nice. Still warm the cake, but we can't wait. That's the problem. Very nice.